Alright, as I'm looking at the maintenance schedule, I see change, hydraulic oil, and filter. Come over to the dot, and it says every 400 hours. However, it says asterisk, change after first 75 hours of operation. Alright, I look at the hour clock, I see 63. So we're up here at the front of the wheel, and the reason for that is I wanted to show you where the vent plug is on this particular machine. Alright, let's zoom right in there. And there it is, right there. That's like an idler. You can see it like a belt. That's not attached to the transaxle. And there it is. Now it turns out that is the factory fill plug, and the technician at the shop told me that the factory fills it with 30 weight oil, and then the manufacturer instructs everyone to change the factory fill at 75 hours. Alright, I'm going to use the 15W50 if you recognize this brand. It's not that. So I also like Amazon oil. There are other synthetic brands that I like, but anymore I just pretty much always use this one or that one. I mean, that's what I use. It's readily available. I don't have to hunt down a dealer. I don't have to wait for a big sale at the auto parts store or Walmart. It's getting tough to go to Walmart. I hardly go there anymore. Alright, let's clean that more. I got my toothbrush. Let's go. Alright, there we go. All better. Just kidding, of course. But I did wash it off with soap and water. Just pressure washer soap and pressure washer rinse. Alright, I'm going to run through the reset on the hour meter so you can reset the service interval. It'll come on and say change H oil. Change oil is just the motor oil. H oil change is the hydraulic oil. And then there's an air filter one. So it does not need to be on. So remove the key. Put the parking brake on and all that other stuff. Okay. So if you press the button, it's before you press the button, it shows the hour. You press the button and it shows timer 1. Press the button again and it shows oil in 65 hours. Press it again and it says H oil in 11 hours. Press it again and it's the air filter, teeny little thing at the bottom, air filter in 36 hours. So that's how that works. So if I was to reset it, I would push it once for timer 1, push it twice for motor oil, push it 3 times for H oil. Then I would press it down and hold it. They say for 3 seconds, and it's been so long since I changed the oil I forgot. But you just press it down and hold it, and boom, it'll click to 400 because the initial reset hasn't been done for the 75 hours. I'm only at 64 hours. Alright, moving on to actually changing the oil. Alright, I got so caught up in the repair, I just remembered to reset the service reminder. It'll go from 75 to 400 hours. I'm actually a little bit below 75. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to press it until it goes to H oil, then I'm going to hold it down till it resets. So let's see how that goes. Alright, looks like we got a reset. H oil in 400. Alright, that worked. Abracadabra. Alright, for some reason Shazam doesn't work for me. I don't know. Maybe that's something for someone who's younger than I am. I don't know. But for me, abracadabra. So I removed the wheel. With the wheel removed, I have better access to the vent bolts, the vent plugs, if you will, especially for this particular transaxle. And I did want to talk about those. Alright, of course everybody wants to be in the same place at the same time, so here's an overall view. Let me zoom in past my light. Zoom in to the top of the ZT3100, which is the lower commercial grade transmission. And you can see a bolt on top there. That is the vent. Now the instructions specifically say drain the oil, which I'll talk about that in a minute. And it says, then it says open the vent. And the reason for that is because if you open the vent now, chances are that oil's going to come out. Now having said that, I'm going to make sure that the nut can come loose and it's not torqued down to like 500,000 foot-pounds of torque or some crazy thing that I can't get undone. So I'm going to test that. Just do a quick open and close, and then we'll move on to the procedure. Okay, this side was not bad at all. I used my 11/16 3/8 socket and 3/8 breaker bar, but I really didn't need any superhuman strength to get that started. So it came right off. A ½ inch, I couldn't use a ½ inch, it was too tall when I put the ratchet on top of there. And the combination wrench is, you know, arced up, so that kind of made a mess. Things being in the way, so 11/16. Alright, next I am going to take my 3/8 and remove the 3 screws that hold on the guard, the oil filter guard. For some reason, my magic's not working. My gosh, electric tools have really spoiled me. Alright, not too horrific. Alright, I get my catch pan into position. And don't forget to take the cap off the end if you have an enclosed one like this, because that'll allow air to escape. So that's that. We're expecting about 2 quarts. Also going to remove the caps because I've got another project going on which I'll include in the video. I'll show you that. Alright, depending how your reservoir is hooked up on different brands of machines, and this is what confused me because, you know, Hydro Gear talks about their gear set. So, you know, they don't talk about Gravely, Bad Boy, and all the other machines out there. So what's going on is, in some cases, where the reservoir goes in there, that is actually the vent hole. And you need to take that bolt out. But since I have my reservoir feeding into there, that doesn't apply. I already showed you where the vent was on this one. Okay, hopefully I won't have to go to a strap. What I did is I had to remove the parking brake nut, and this is a locking nut. It was a 1/2 inch wrench, and then I used a 9/16 to back it out, but I did not remove it because I didn't want to deal with the spring. And now my cap can go on here. That's a 1/2 inch drive or 22 millimeter if it's on there really tight. And I can always just get it started and then spin it off. I don't have to back it all the way out. All right, took a little bit of jiggling and wiggling to get that on there. And let's see what I got going on here. All right, that's not too bad. All right, and I'm taking it back off because I need room. And there it goes. I removed the drain plug, aka transmission fluid filter, because I'm going to be filling it through the reservoir. Oh yeah, my little project, I got to go do that. So what I have going on with the reservoir is where it goes through the body of the vehicle. It looks like it wants to touch, so I can either put a grommet in there. I don't think I have a grommet that size. It'll fit the hole and the hose, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to wrap a couple pieces of tape around there, and that's going to be my contact point as opposed to rubbing against the hose. And then right here at this turn, right here at this turn, let me get on camera, it comes extremely close to the transmission. Way too close for my comfort. So I was going to wrap a little bit of tape around there too. I could also take a bolt out and put a hose clip on there and just keep it off of there. I might see what I have. All right, we got a definite let's clean that up situation here. All right. All right, let me get that. All right, we'll do the standard practice of putting oil on the gasket and then screwing it on. Once it touches, we'll go 1/2 or 3/4. It calls for 3/4. We'll see how tight I can get it. I'm going to use the wording on the wrench to help me figure out what 3/4 is. Alright, that's 1/2. And that is 3/4. Alright, and it's snug. Snug, snug, snug. Alright, that's nice. Dropping that in the oil. It's always fun, right? Okay, perfect. And we'll do the other side off camera. Alright, let's reassemble that parking brake here. Let me see if I can get that screw in there. Yeah, it's going in there. The other side, it was kind of sticking out, so I wasn't really too happy with it. Oops. Well, I can tell you I didn't need superhuman strength to reassemble that, which is good. Get the lock nut back on there, a locking nut. Alright, we'll put the Guten tight on there. I don't know if grunting's required. I don't really think it's necessary. Okay. I notice this is like almost like a shoulder bolt, but the shoulder is very, very small. And the nut and the bolt tightened up long before it bottomed out, so put my wrench back on here and tighten it down, you know. It's gonna have some wiggle room. Alright, I got my chafing guards on there in the two places where there's almost contact. Now it might be contact now that I think it thickened it up a little bit. But the other thing is, I cleaned it out. Let's get a camera shot here. There is no way I'm letting this thing go to 400 hours. No way. 100 at the most. All that crap that was in there, factory, no way. All right, you can do what you want. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, I got my tape on there. It barely got to the nut. Still might take that out, put something on there. I just didn't have anything in stock. Oh, I gotta bolt the reservoir back down again. I just wanted to make sure it was turned enough. I have the top loose in case I needed to twist or turn or adjust. Going through the body, I definitely have that one. So no problem there. All right, a little more cleaning and put this back, and I'll clean the tires, put them back on. We'll get ready for the air purge. Oh, gotta fill it up first, and then we'll do the air purge process. All right, start all 3 screws before tightening any one down. That way you know there's no cross threading, and you can just zip it on with your electric. Alright, let's put 2 quarts in there on each side for a total of 4 quarts. 2 in each one, in case I wasn't clear. Okay, 2 quarts each side, and then we'll do the burping procedure. I'm going to put 2 quarts each side, then I'm going to put on the wheels, then I'm going to pull this out to do the burping procedure, and then once I finish step 1, I will put these back in and perform step 2, which is not moving, moving. It's going down slow. I mean, that's just it. I mean, I know I read those instructions over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, I just double checked them. Okay, I reread the Gravely instructions, and it said to remove the drain plug completely during the entire fill process. So there we go, and it's definitely going down. All right, we're going to do the purge procedure. Since deactivation and activation is both with the wheels in the no load position, I'm going to deactivate the system, and the wheels should not turn when we fire this thing up and advance and retard the levers to purge the system. Alright, I have to apologize for not showing the full procedure for burping the system. You know, you take the control arm and disengage the wheels, and then you move the forward and back controls back and forth about 6 times. Then you engage the bypass so that the wheels are engaged, again off the ground. And you go back 5 or 6 times. Then you can lower the machine down to the ground and drive around, I'll show that, because it worked fine. So what happened was, in my case, it would not disengage. I'd pull the bypass and it would run. So I didn't have that burping the air out with the wheels disengaged, which is step one. So I had to go through my Hydro Gear service and repair manual. These are free online. If you go to Hydro Gear, you can hunt yours down. I have the ZT3100. So I hunted it down. I couldn't find anything, you know, nothing helped me. You know, I'd go there and I'd be reading a procedure. It's referenced me back to another page. I'd read that page, reference me back to another page. You know, typical service manual. You gotta understand them. I was a technical writer for a short period of time. It's really pretty complex. You don't repeat stuff is the reason the entire procedure is not all in one place, and then repeat it again later. Alright, I am back, but for you in the video it was instantaneous. So I was really concerned. I made some adjustments, parking brake, this, that, the other thing. Tried the procedure 2 or 3 times. You know, it just wouldn't disengage. So I went down to the local dealer and I went in there and I just made my way past the salesman and the parts counter guy, you know, and walked right back in the back like I owned the damn place, and went back and talked to the mechanic. Now you got to understand, this guy is like Jed Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies, okay? He is tall, thin, calm, cool, collective, and he is country. But he is extremely knowledgeable. And he said, well, he says it won't work perfectly at first, but eventually you'll get it purged under normal use. He said, follow the purge procedure, just repeat it several times, which actually technically I'm still doing. Then drive around gently for a while after that. And then one time when you pull it out, the wheels should be disengaged and you can push your mower as it originally worked before you changed the hydraulic oil. I said, okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. So I'm zoomed into the right side here and you can see it's a little bit above the fill line. If I can hold the camera steady. You can see the fill line right there. And it's just a little bit above it. So, you know, no harm, no foul. I could suck it out. I got my little turkey baster. I could suck it out, but I'm going to leave it there for now. And actually, when it's running, it actually fills up a little bit. So that's why it needs to be so low, because it could really fill up. And that's why it's so large with so little amount of oil in there. Alright, I'll show a clip of me running around on the machine and close out the video.